Hi, here we are on vacation in Copeland, Kansas. It's next to Dodge City, Kansas. And that kind of inspired Joe on his writing while writing his Tanka. He's not writing his Tanka about Africa missions. Both the boys are writing their Tanka about
History reading this week.
yeah, history reading. So about the cattle trade and the cattle trails. So, Joe, will you tell us about your writing process? A tanka is made up of expository writing, narrative writing, and descriptive writing, and it's all in a poem format. So, can you tell us about that?
Well, it is sort of like writing a story. What I did first for the expository, which is just facts, I researched. So mine is about Joe McCoy, and I researched facts about him. Just like wrote some stuff down, and then I organized it into stanzas. And I mean, I didn't
Like a narrative sequence.
right. Okay, and the narrative part of this writing is just making it sort of like your own story about that. The topic that you're writing about. And
then how did the description come in, the descriptive writing?
well, that is just sort of for last. That's just like thinking about if you want to make it like how you want to make it rhyme, um,
Details.
details, and poetry devices. And so definitely just write down a few things that you think are cool about the topic, and then organize it into stanzas. It doesn't have to be in poetry form yet. I mean, you can just write down maybe not necessarily complete sentences, but a little more about that specific subject. And for mine, so it's a 3 to 4 paragraph, stanza poem, and
Okay.
the repetition. If y'all went through the homework charts, you see that it has at the end of it, of each stanza, it repeats 2 lines in each stanza, and
2 to 3. It
2 to
depends
3.
on what your style is, right?
Right, and they can be. So if you looked at the homework chart, this is a 5 and 7 syllable paragraph, sort of like a haiku, but a lot longer, and it's a narrative.
Poem. Okay. So, can you give them an example? Read your poem for us?
Sure. All right. My poem is called The Cattle Baron of Kansas. Genius Joe McCoy shipped longhorns to Illinois, hired the first cowboys. They led the longhorn bovines through the trail of Abilene. When many say he was the best, the real McCoy, I say yes. He'd build some railroads to ship the cowboys big loads. Then the cash would flow. It'd take a very long time, more money than just a dime. Many say he was the best. The real McCoy, I say yes. Started the cattle trade. Much money he also made. A large part Joe played. Legend of the Cowboys, Baron of Kansas, Joe McCoy. Many say he was the best. The real McCoy, I say yes. And so, you'll notice I repeated, many say he was the best, the real McCoy, I say yes. You don't have to, so mine was a 7 syllable, 2 lines of 7 syllable, repetition sentences. But it can be, you can put 3 lines in there, it can be 5, 7, 5, whatever.
Just needs to be 5 or 7 syllables, one or the other, right?
Right. It can be how many, it has to be 5, 7, yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Joe.
Sure.